Welcome back to the Presence of Being podcast. Thank you for being here and being a part of our community. I know I've been teasing this and hyping this up for a while, but I finally have the new hats in hand. I've been wearing them all day, every day. They're incredible. The quality is amazing. The embroidery quality is incredible. We've really upped the quality of the embroidery. The baby blue with the white and the classic stone with the chocolate brown. I'll put an image on the screen. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see what they look like. I love them, and I think the community will love them also. The release date for these hats will be next week, Tuesday, October 29th at 11 a.m. If you sign up for the email list, you'll be notified. You'll have all the details, and you will have first access to the website when the hats are ready to be released. When they are released, when the website is open. So make sure you sign up for the email list, which you can do in the description of this video and in the show notes if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple. But I'm really excited about these hats. I'm very excited for people to get them. Tuesday, October 29th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. presenceofbeing.co. I hope you enjoy this recording, and that's it. So just yesterday, I was out for a run, and I've been getting a lot more into running this past year or so. So if anybody who listens to my content is also interested in running or loves to run, DM me. We can have a conversation about running, since I've literally fallen in love with the sport over the past year or so, like I said. And I was out for a run last night. And after I finished running, I ran about 10K, so 6 miles or so. And after my run, I was just walking and catching my breath and just thinking about my run and, the challenges that presented themselves during the course of that run. And there's a point to this, so bear with me. But I was just thinking about my run and thinking about the progress that I made in running over the course of this past year or so. I had just set a PR in my 10K, and I was thinking to myself, I would not be able to run this distance at this pace 6 months ago. I wouldn't even come close a year ago. It would probably take me double the time to run this distance 3-4 years ago. And I was just thinking to myself, wow, that's pretty cool. I fell in love with this sport in running. I run pretty frequently, and every single time I go for my run, because I just enjoy it so much and I love it, I'm not really thinking about my pace. I'm not really thinking about how fast I'm going. And I don't even set a distance in mind when I go out for my runs. It's not I want to run 10K today, or I want to run a half marathon today, or I want to run 5K today. That's not what goes on in my mind. I just go out and enjoy it because I love it. And I was thinking about that as I was walking after my run yesterday, and I was like, wow, you can draw a lot of parallels here to just life in general, and you reaching your goals, or you becoming the person who you want to be. And I thought to myself, it's first of all, it's important to acknowledge where you are compared to where you once were, and be grateful for the growth that you've gone through. So as I was thinking about my runs, for example, I was like, wow, I would not be able to run this quick or this distance a year ago, or 2 years ago, or 3 years ago. Think about who you are as a person compared to who you were a year ago, or 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And think about the progress that you have made in any area over the course of this past year, or over the course of this past, 6 months, or 2 years, 3 years. Just see the type of person that you are now compared to who you were in the past. Now, don't stare at your past, just acknowledge where you were compared to where you are right now. And I'm sure there's a lot to be grateful for. There's a lot of progression that probably happened, and being able to express that gratitude is a great feeling. So I was just thinking about that in terms of my run. And I'm a very visual learner, and this image popped into my mind, and it's something that I've never thought about before, but I'll put an image on the screen of what I'm talking about so you can also see what was going on in my mind. So if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple, go over and watch the YouTube, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. But the image that came into my mind was those stone sculptures that tend to show a person like a man or a woman, and it looks like they're carving or shaping themselves from a block of stone. So like the top part of the sculpture or of the figure appears to be very strong, well defined, and the bottom part looks to be like rough and unfinished. Like those sculptures symbolize growth and self-development and the idea that we're always constantly improving ourselves. Like there's a man or woman that's holding like a pick, and it's just chipping away and becoming better. And again, I'll put an image on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. But that's the image that came to mind when I was finished my run yesterday. When I was thinking about who I used to be and where I used to be compared to where I am right now. And obviously I see a lot more growth for myself and continuing to evolve, continuing to get better, but I am a very different person than who I was 2, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years ago. I think I'm a better version of myself. And I just thought in my mind, it's like, if you have an image in your mind of who you see yourself becoming or the kind of things that you see yourself doing, you have that vision, you have that image in your mind, and you keep that at the forefront of your mind. You ask yourself when you take any sort of action, is this in alignment with that vision? If the answer is yes, then you do it. If the answer is no, then you don't do it. And every action that you take that's in alignment with that vision or that image that you have in your mind of the person you see yourself becoming, every step that you take on that run is getting you closer to that vision. And you can think of it as you chipping away at the stone and becoming the top half of that sculpture. Every minute you spend in meditation is you chipping away. Every good deed that you do is you chipping away. Every piece of content that you make is you chipping away. And again, I'm thinking about this in terms of like my own journey to reaching my goals, so you can apply this to your goals and your vision that's unique to you becoming the person that you want to be. But I just thought about it from my own perspective. Every step that you take while you're on your run is you chipping away. Every piece of content you make is you chipping away. Every time you are kinder to yourself and other people is you chipping away. Every promise that you keep to yourself, when you say you're going to do something and you do it, that's you chipping away. Every time you express gratitude for the good things that you have in your life, that's you chipping away. And I can go on and on and on, but whatever is in alignment with that image that you have in your mind, you, in your vision, being the person you want to be, when you take steps or when you take action in the right direction, it's you chipping away and becoming that person. And the more often you take that action, the more confident you're going to be to continue taking that action, which means each swing of the pickaxe that's chipping away the stone requires less effort because it becomes habitual. And you're able to chip away more stone and make even more progress with less effort because it becomes a positive habit when you're taking that action consistently. So, for example, you tell yourself, I'm going to wake up at 6:30 tomorrow morning. I'm going to go for a light run. And then I'm going to have a really healthy breakfast. I'm going to practice gratitude. I'm going to journal. And then I'm going to go into work. Tomorrow morning, when your alarm goes off at 6:30 in the morning, you have a choice you can make. To pick up that pickaxe or whatever it is you're holding and start chipping away at becoming that person, or you can hit snooze, not keep the promise that you made to yourself, and miss out on an opportunity to continue to take action and make progress towards becoming the person you want to become. We all have that choice. And there are many, many moments throughout the day where you can decide and make the decision to cast a vote for the type of person you want to be. And when you take action that's in alignment with your vision, you take action consistently in the right direction, in a direction that feels right internally, that's going to compound and you're going to notice progress being made. And when you notice that progress being made, even if it's small progress, it's still going to motivate you. it's still going to drive you to continue to take action and continue to move forward. So that's what I was thinking about after my run yesterday. Again, if you're a runner and you enjoy running, message me. You can DM me on Instagram and we can have a conversation about running. But that's basically what I thought about, and the image that popped into my mind after my run yesterday. I was just thinking about being where I am right now compared to where I was, and the growth and the progress that I've made, and thinking to myself, it's important to be grateful. There's still things that you want to do, of course. There's still things that you want to achieve, still places that you may want to get to, but be grateful because you're growing, you're building, you're getting better, and it's important to recognize that and address that, even in the smallest of ways. Wherever you are right now, if you're better than where you were in any possible way, if you're happier internally, if you're more at peace with yourself, these are things to really give yourself a pat on the back for and acknowledge and appreciate. So I was just thinking about that, and I was thinking about, that visual, chipping away, becoming better. And whenever you take action in the right directions, in a positive direction, in a direction that's in alignment with your vision, that's you swinging the axe, swinging the pickaxe, and chipping away and becoming. So I hope this message resonates. If it does, let me know. You can DM me on Instagram at Presence of Being. I respond to all my DMs, so you can hit me up over there. If you haven't left a review yet on this podcast, on these recordings, if you enjoyed them and it's provided any sort of value to you, it'd mean a lot if you could leave a positive review. Everything helps, likes, subscribes, all of that. So that would mean a lot. Join the community over on Instagram. And if you have any recommendations for the kind of things that you want me to talk about in future recordings, you can let me know also. I know I mentioned this at the beginning of this recording, but I have the hats. I've been talking about the hats for a very long time. I'm so happy with the quality of them. We did the first batch in around January, and the quality now is 10 times better. And I thought the other ones were great. These are just fantastic. I've been wearing them all day, every day since I got them. They look great. I'm really, really happy with them. I can't wait to release them. And I actually finally have a release date. I'm releasing them next week. So it will be October 29th, Tuesday, October 29th at 11 a.m. EST. So make sure to mark it in your calendars. The site will be open and you'll be able to grab a hat. Now, I've mentioned this before in previous recordings, but if you haven't yet signed up for the email list, sign up for the email list so you will have first access to the website when the hats are being launched. Before I make a video on TikTok, before I make a post about it on Instagram. If you're within our community and you want a hat and you listen to these podcasts and you want to support me in what we're building here at Presence of Being, sign up for the email list. You'll be notified first when the hats are released. And there's also limited quantity. So if you want access to the site first, sign up for the email list. So Tuesday, October 29th, 11 a.m. Eastern Time is when the site will be open and you'll be able to grab a hat. Your support, genuinely from the bottom of my heart, means the world to me. I'm grateful for every single message I get, every single person that listens to these recordings, and that's within our community. And I'm really, really excited to be able to release these for our community. So you can also represent everything that we're building here at Presence of Being, the mission, promoting presence, and being able to represent that lifestyle, that present lifestyle. So thank you again for being a part of our community and for listening to these recordings and all your support. And I'll see you in the next recording very, very soon.